much more in Burnley's case. Why not have a shot at the FA Cup? Vincent Kompany is a big admirer of Ange Postecoglou. There are reports that he tried to lure him to Anderlecht from Japan to be part of his coaching team a few years ago. You soon get an idea what kind of a cup tie we're going to get when the teams are announced. And the Tottenham team is as strong as it can be. Pat Sarr and Son Heung-min are away on international duty. Oliver Skip and Dejan Kulusevski come in. No compromises, and both Mickey van der Ven and Ryan Sessegnon are fit for the bench. Rodrigo Bentancur captains Tottenham for the first time. Burnley do rotate, but Ara Muric, Anas Saruri and skipper tonight Josh Cullen all played big parts in the championship winning season, so they'll be raring to go after fewer opportunities this season. There's a first start since September for Aaron Ramsey. Hannes Delcroix continues at centre-back. 5 changes from the weekend. Well, there are a few certainties in football, Lee Dixon, particularly in the FA Cup, but Spurs have scored in the first 10-11 minutes of 4 of the last 6 home games, so we know what's coming. Can Burnley stop it?
Well, that's a difficult question. On recent form, they have improved a little bit, but you'd say this is going to be a very tough game for Burnley. But I did their game against Everton 3 weeks ago, and Everton played with a very high line, and they didn't hit the ball over the top once. The midfield players refused to lift it into the space, and I think that was a mistake. They got beat 2-0. Have they learnt?
Adam Juric was a star of their championship-winning season, the goalkeeper. On by Zaroury, who figured quite prominently last season too. So did Josh Cullen, who's captaining the team this evening. And all 3 of them will relish this opportunity to try to work their way back into Vincent Kompany's Premier League plans. This is Ben Davies. Real honour for Bentancur to wear the armband in Son Heung-min's absence. Doggy starting forward as usual. It's the 143rd FA Cup. It began in early August. 732 teams. Some of you looking in this evening will have played in this season's FA Cup already. Down to the last 64. Almost anyone can win it from here, almost.
See how organised Burnley's press is. They don't go too early, stay in their 4-4-2. And then when one goes, they tend to all go together. And as Ian said, currently before, they are well organised in that department. It's just how deep do they drop?
It's also coming a little deeper. Here is Bentancur.
Tottenham got 6 up front at the moment.
It's 1 less than usual. Here's Kulusevski. Taken out by the head of O'Shea. Here's Udogi. Saruri too easily and into the penalty area. And the referee not interested, but Brendan Johnson is. Important challenge coming in from Ramsey in the nick of time.
Looks a good tackle from here. We are 40 yards away. Referee's a lot closer, VAR having a look.
We've had time to mention the referee, Sam Barrett. He's 30 years of age. There are 2 older players on the field tonight. Charlie Taylor with the cross, and that's a complete miscue by Foster. Still an opportunity for Zaroury. And that's Tottenham for you. They'll attack, but they will leave opportunities at the back.
We're just seeing the replay of the VAR. VAR is saying stop the game because the tackle comes in, kicks the bottom of Dogi's foot, and then the ball goes away, and the kick is actually just having a look to see whether he got a toe on the ball.
And is there enough force to send him tumbling?
No, I don't think it's a penalty.
What's interesting about the referee, Sam Barrett, is he was new to the Premier League in October, so he's only had a couple of handfuls of games of experience of VAR, and Darren Bond, the voice in his ear, is a relatively new voice for this referee.
That might be the key. Moving forward, get the kids involved.
30 years of age. Good luck to to him. Burnley do carry a threat up front. Seki Amdouni and Lyle Foster combined very well at Villa at the weekend. It's fallen here for Ramsey. Here's an opportunity for Foster again. Zaroury. Held up by Udogie. Coutinho trying to get involved. It is a goal kick, but I think Burnley's intentions are as clear as Tottenham's.
Yeah, absolutely. They started well. They're playing high up the pitch. They have to stay together, all 11 of them, including the goalkeeper on the edge of the box for that ball over the top. And they are high. Oops. Well played. Just.
Using every inch of his area. Tottenham have won 4 of their last 5 games. Now, is that a foul? Yes, it is. Only one other Premier League side can say that after the Christmas rush. 3 wins in a row here, and back to the kind of numbers they were racking up in August and September. Not a lot in that.
Well, there's a funny one because he ran across the line of the forward, and when Davis was not in control of the ball, he ran right across him. He doesn't have to get out of his way, but the high line was there for all to see, and it was Ben Davis who decided, got a bit nervous, got that feeling you get as a defender when you're really high and there's no pressure on the ball, you feel vulnerable, he decided to drop.
It's a fall for Johnson, and his touch matched the pass. Brennan Johnson. It's good cover from O'Shea because Vitinho was beaten, and it is a corner kick.
Well, that's O'Shea's job. Put cover on the fullback. Just watch O'Shea's position. He's just keeping an eye on it. Do you need me? Am I marking someone? And then he gets closer and close enough to put the tackle in. It's a good play from Johnson.
Mainly from the right since coming into the team at the start of November. Son Heung-min has been operating on the left just lately, but it's Johnson on the left, Kulusevski on the right tonight. Porro with the corner, and it's too deep for everybody. You know, Burnley felt they got on the wrong side of the decisions at Villa Park at the weekend. Felt very aggrieved.
What a touch that is, by the way. Had his eye on that the whole way. Great ball from Vicario. Wow, proper goal kick. Big long one to the halfway line. Who knew?
I didn't know they were allowed anymore. It'll never catch on.
I missed that, I have to say.
2 of Burnley's 3 Premier League victories came last month. 7 points from their last 7 matches. A point a game keeps you up.
Yeah, the form's definitely got better.
Here's Odobert. He's really seized the opportunity that's been afforded to him by Luka Koleoshu's injury. Started the last 6 now.
He had one thing on his mind, that was he's in space. Just quite an unusual save that from Vicario. That's not, for me, and I'm not a goalkeeper, a difficult ball. It's almost to his chest, but he chose to punch it away.
Coutinho on the Oki. Flicked on by O'Shea. This is Ramsey. Coutinho again. The game's got an open and attractive look to it. 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah, but there again, there's that. I'm pleased with what I'm seeing from Burnley's point of view, because they are looking to hit the grass behind that high line in the white shirts. We didn't see that against Everton. They were just refused the ball.
That was superb control from Johnson. Porro finding him this time. Brennan Johnson into Richarlison. It's a foul by Lo Celso. So a different side to the genial giant at the end of the Bournemouth game here at the weekend. He chucked a wobbly with someone on the opposite dugout. Wouldn't have thought it paid to get on the wrong side of Ange. Goalkeeper's got the whole of the Tottenham half to aim at. The highest of high lines, strung across the halfway line. Davis tidying up.
As soon as that ball goes to either full-back for Burnley, forwards, and Dooney and Foster have got to be on the bag in that channel. On that occasion, Foster was just a little bit late. The ball's going to go anyway.
Bentancur on by Udogie. Skip into the path of Richarlison. And he's in the groove at the moment. Richarlison, goal again the last 5 games.
Yeah, good ball, just peels off. He's onside. Just that touch there. Prefer it to go across his body, so he's got it on his left earlier.
There are 2 other third-round FA Cup ties taking place this evening, already underway. A 7:15 kickoff. Brentford have taken the lead against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The other match kicked off at 7:30. Fulham versus Rotherham, bottom of the Championship. There are going to be some FA Cup ties outside of London soon. Here's Johnson. Worth a go. Muric got his fist to it. Charlie Taylor turned it behind for a corner.
Sometimes when you're that dynamic, you kind of know what he's going to do from the full-back's position, but you can't stop him because you've got to sort of block the wing as well. Cuts inside and gets a really good shot away. We saw that curl right from behind that.
It should suit him playing from this left-hand side. Royal, Giovanni Lo Celso. Richarlison pulling wide. Turned away by Delcroix.
I don't think Zaroury will make a full-back, I have to say. Richarlison just threw him a little shoulder then and he was all over the place.
He's been very much on the fringes of things this season. And Zaroury, who is playing in front of Coutinho on this side. Kulusevski against Taylor and Odobert on the other side. Some support here from Porro. Again. Burnley difficult to play through at the moment. Richarlison, Udogie. Plenty of support in the box. Lo Celso. Cleared away by Cullen. A little bit of relief and release for Burnley.
It's all hands on deck when you get around that penalty area. Important that they try and leave one up front so that you can just relieve that pressure a little bit, otherwise it just become an onslaught.
What you would say about Tottenham's recent games is they're never dull. 7 matches in December, 29 goals. And both Everton and Bournemouth had their chances here. Spurs threatened a ridiculous comeback from 4-0 down in the closing stages at Brighton a week ago. You just never know quite what's coming next with this Tottenham team.
I think when you speak to Tottenham fans as well, they quite like that. They love the football that's being played and giving the team a chance.
Nice to know you speak to Tottenham fans. Here's Bentancur. Johnson. Kulusevski had made a run. Good cover from Delcroix.
I have to say, I've spoke to a few on the way to this gantry and they weren't so pleasant.
I think they were speaking to you.
Right, you get away with that being in the box. I can't believe it. Nice studio. Pitch side was where I'd like to see him.
Emerson. Porro. Davies. Kulusevski's calling for it on the far side, but he's working this near side again with Johnson. Udogie. Tito has made a mess of that. Celso, back to Johnson. Kerr to Porro. And now Kulusevski. Dejan Kulusevski. Plenty of Burnley bodies there, and the header causing no real problems from Brennan Johnson.
Odegaard did well there. Didn't want to let him on that left foot. He jinked a couple of times. Let's try and get his shot away.
It's a little awkward for Ramsey. There's another one with relatively little football to look back on this season. He might be a little rusty. Richarlison's in again. And unable to really work Aro Muric.
Southside did well, just pinching the ball off O'Shea, and then again just scuffs it under his feet, can't get it away from himself.
Look at this offside line here. Line dancing. The Tottenham Line Dancing Society. It's more of a kind of a one of those chorus lines, some of the old Broadway musicals when they all used to link arms, and just needs a few high-kicking routines.
It's a bit kind of, they all stand there and it's first to blink. I'm not going back. If Burnley don't make a run, they're just standing on the halfway line.
Christian Romero can do the high-kicking when he comes back. Here's Johnson. It's good from Muric to hang on.
Johnson's doing well on this. All coming down the left for Tottenham.
Zaroury. Foster. Odegaard. This front four for Burnley, plenty of attacking intent. And they're industrious players, but they're not known for their defensive qualities. It's a really bold selection. Celso and Udogie not quite on the same page. Applause ringing out as the fans here pay their respects to 16-year-old Spurs fan Harry Pittman, so senselessly murdered just 6 or 7 miles from here in Primrose Hill on New Year's Eve. It's impossibly sad. In the same vein, Tottenham's neighbours Arsenal will wear an all-white kit for their cup tie on Sunday with Liverpool in support of the No More Red initiative against knife crime in London. Rivals united in grief and resolved to play their part in combating youth violence in the capital. Harry Pittman on a Spurs zone. Udogie. O'Shea wasn't buying it, it's come back though for Kulusevski, and now Johnson. And here's Lo Celso. It was a rather hooked effort, skied over Muric's crossbar.
Well, you have to be quick, you don't get much time in those areas. Again, a good ball from Johnson, just picks him out. He's kind of cross it, and he just lays it on a plate, but leaning back, chest to the sky. Vincent Kompany will be pleased. They need a little bit more up top, like always, when you're playing away from home. The organisation's certainly there.
We call this the best draw possible. His thinking being that if you're going to have a cup run, you're going to have to beat teams like Spurs eventually, and if you can't beat Spurs, then loosen them early in the competition before you start to take on the extra mileage that probably Burnley could do without in their relegation fight.
But also, I think you look at Tottenham and you go, yeah, I fancy playing against them. As good as they are, they'll give you chances because of that line. And you might just get in once, and that might be the one that wins it.
It's a little loose from Benton Kerr. And Dooney just unable to profit. Royal. His last 3 games now at centre-back. He played at left-back against Everton just before Christmas. He was Brazil's right-back in their last 2 internationals in November. Needs must. Penalised, rather belatedly. Benson Cook, aware of Kulusevski's run, he is strong. There's no suggestion the referee was going to penalise him. Apologise if you picked up some foul language from our FX microphones. Toro was caught there by Josh Cullen. Lost his place through injury a couple of months ago. Just 5 minutes in the Premier League since then for Josh Cullen. He has played a couple of internationals for Ireland in the meantime, but he was Player of the Year in the Championship season. Muric, the goalkeeper, was voted the Championship's goalkeeper of the season last season. It's a sharp challenge by Cullen on Lo Celso. Referee tried to let it go, but he's going to bring it back now, and Josh Cullen will become the first statistic of the evening.
The tackle after that was a bit sharp as well. This is the one on the Celso. He's saying he got the ball, but it's that one where he's just come round and caught his leg as he's kicking the ball away. Referee seeming saying that's a foul, and then there was a foul just after that. Was that the referee just let go? That one.
The feet are pretty low here, aren't they?
Yeah, just having a look at Rory's tackle there.
It's been reviewed as a potential red card challenge.
Sorry, it was Cullen, sorry.
And after last night, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, we all hold our breath.
It's Benton caught.
That coming together has been cleared for any further action.
We got there eventually.
I mean, the referees have a duty of care to player welfare, of course they do, but you know, this is a fast and aggressive game, and accidents happen. Some of the worst injuries happen with nobody near the victim. Just wonder if laws are now being framed to try to protect players almost too much.
Well, that was last night, wasn't it? I mean, we haven't got enough time to discuss that.
It's a fine line. Coutinho.
That wasn't last night, wasn't a fine line.
Here's Cullen, who did pick up a yellow card. Rory back to Coutinho. Shea back to Muric.
That's the one right there, Clive.
That's played Ramsey into trouble. Skippers all over him.
That's when you've got to realise what's going on in front of you as a back player, goalkeeper. Look how many white shirts. That's when you've got to go long. You can see that all day long, Muric. Just go long. Putting the defender under pressure like that is unnecessary.
And the outcome is a corner kick to defend. Toro. So easy for Aaron Muric. Played just 3 League Cup ties this season. He's played 4 internationals for Kosovo. The last of those was a couple of months ago, so we'll be very grateful for this outing. Taylor. Not a bit. Cullen's pass blocked. Good work by Ramsey. Mentioned the number of goals in Tottenham's games last month. There were 19 goals in Burnley's 77 games. They've scored 2 at both Aston Villa and Fulham in their last 2 away games. But they've still to score here. 3 visits to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Lost 1-0, 4-0, 5-0. And they're inviting pressure now. Richarlison unable to link with Kulusevski, who will be penalised, but are asking for trouble.
Well, there's no difference with a bad pass or a bad throw. He knows it, he's getting a bit frustrated. I mean, he just hasn't got the strength to get it over the Tottenham player into that space, and it's just inviting pressure. And they've done well so far, they've been organised, but just start to let it go. They realise that, you know, everything goes up in the Premier League, the quality of players in all departments, and that includes the pressing and the closing down, so you've got to be aware of that.
Zaruri. Trying to throw it. He is a chilled individual by nature. Always looked in control on the field. Samduni, and here's a chance for Odobert. It's got a little lost. Got Charlie Taylor in support though. And that's a useful cross towards Amdouni. He's come here for Zaruri. He's trying to set up Cullen. Richarlison came between them.
Yeah, it was a bit yours, mine. Nobody went for it in the end, and Richarlison just nicked in. But decent move from Burnley.
Foster in particular looked dangerous at Villa at the weekend, scored a goal, had another disallowed by a hair's breadth, went close on another occasion. Here's Cullen, fed into Amdouni. Here's Zaruri, and Amdouni is in. It's been beautifully constructed. Oh, there's no finish. The flag has eventually been raised. It would have spoilt the party, but that was creative.
Well, it's a good little flick, and he's onside. If that had gone in, VAR would have given this goal. Linesman's flag goes straight up after the ball went over the bar. Good little run, great flick. Amdouni just behind him, can't get it goal side, and then he's just leaning back. It's a shame because, as you said, VAR would have given that.
He scored his 4th Burnley goal at Villa the weekend. Lovely volley. 22 last season for Basel in Switzerland. He is a goal scorer, Zeki Amdouni. A good record at international level. O'Shea. Johnson. Spurs may be shaken by that let-off, and it was a let-off. Kulusevski. Last off him, and Burnley will have a goal kick.
Odegaard's done well on that left side for Burnley, because when he's gone back to help Taylor out, he's just blocked the left foot of Kulusevski, so he's had to go down the line 2 or 3 times. That's not where he wants to go. He's done well defensively.
He's 19, a Parisian, originally with Paris Saint-Germain, but playing for a relegated team in France last season. Burnley have had to take chances on young talent of that kind, and £10 million. Not a bad looks to steal. It's a bit of a lash by Vitinho, which caught Lo Celso. Towards for Mickey van der Ven, who's warming up, hoping to return tonight after 2 months out, nursing a torn hamstring. Challenged there by Ramsey caught Lo Celso, who's still down. As Aruri comes forward, I think Burnley a little distracted by the pain that Lo Celso seems to be in, and no wonder. I don't think there's any intent, but...
No, he's not. He's just trying to do a little flick on the ball, a little drag back, and he's got to put his foot somewhere, unfortunately. It's on Lo Celso's leg. It'd sting a bit.
He's been regularly involved the last couple of months. Giovanni Lo Celso looked like he might be leaving Tottenham in the summer. Spent the last couple of seasons away from the club on loan in Spain, but Postecoglou told him in the summer that he wanted him around, and particularly in James Maddison's continuing absence, Lo Celso's getting an opportunity in that 10 role. But he's lost possession here. Back. Just left and right. Took his time before guiding it out to Kulusevski. Here's Bentancur. Porro. Over Richarlison comes for Johnson. It was a sharp chance. He must have seen it quite late. Had to take it early.
Yeah, Coutinho did enough, although he missed the header. It's a great ball in. It really is. Just whips it in with a bit of pace.
Might have been offside.
Yeah, fullback misses it, but that just put Johnson off. Good position.
Hasn't scored at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as yet, Brendan Johnson. Oh, that might just run for Odobert. Davis had to react. Porro. Burnley right in this. And those of you like me of a certain vintage will always think of Tottenham as a cup team. Postecoglou would like to make them a title team once again, but Burnley went further than Spurs in last season's FA Cup. Only 3 years since Tottenham won this thing, 1991.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Doggy. Lo Celso. Won by Coutinho. It is a Tottenham throw. Emerson. Kulusevski. Porro. Lo Celso. By Skip, helped on by Udogie, helped away by O'Shea. Porro. Kulusevski. Lo Celso stretching, now Udogie. Lo Celso there again. Cullen came through him to win the ball, and Lo Celso's down again, but the referee's not interested. Foster can't hold it up. Going to Spurs.
Yeah, it's a great position from Cullen, just in front of the two centre-backs. Burnley want you to come in with all the numbers, and that's what they're doing. Tottenham have got to go in to then go out and round the sides, but they're not managing to do that. Cullen just sweeping up that little space in front of the two Burnley centre-backs is invaluable.
Yeah, Brownhill and Berger have been inseparable in that area the last few months for Burnley. Sonderberger is suspended this evening. Josh Brownhill's on the bench being rested. So a real opportunity for Cullen and for Ramsey.
Very similar to Brownhill, Cullen, in the way he plays the game. He just knits it all together for you and sticks his foot in and wins it back.
Lo Celso. It's a really good pass. Johnson. Shea's made a few good blocks and interceptions of that kind.
Yeah, he was needed, and Vitinho didn't know where he was. You always got to be wary as a fullback what you're leaving behind, and he just rushed to try and close down. Huge amount of space and a runner behind him. If in doubt, don't do anything, stay in your position.
Bentancur, Doggy, Johnson. Doggy had gone on, Johnson asked a lot of him. I think Doggy was making the run to try to create the space for Johnson to cut inside and go for goal.
He looks a bit frustrated, Mr. Koglu.
He's quite literally in the risk management business. He knows he asks his players to skate on some of the thinner ice out there, and repeatedly says it's his responsibility, his way. Football's a classic risk and reward game. Every bold attacking idea has a defensive downside. You can't commit players to forward positions without leaving yourself a little line on cover. Just trying to strike that balance.
Charleston, apart from those first sort of half chances, first 10 or 15 minutes, has hardly had a sniff, and that's been mainly due to the organisation and the kind of a little bit sloppy on the ball. Tottenham not working Burnley out defensively.
Those 5 changes that Vincent Kompany made, a couple of them forced upon him, are bound to create 1 or 2 early disconnections, players not used to playing with each other. Although it's the same back 4 that played last weekend and the same front 2. Most of the changes are in the middle of the park. Muric. Charlie Taylor galloping after it. Burnley won the throw. What a bet. Taylor. Now Tottenham on the throw. He has lifted this cup as a Manchester City captain. He was involved in a Belgian Cup final less than 2 years ago as a coach. World Cup runs are going to start somewhere, and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium really is as good a place as any. It's a setting fit for a final. But this third-round tie, which promised much in the opening exchanges, just needs unlocking now. What a bet. Foster hasn't really got involved. Cario having to get involved. I just feel that both teams play on the brink from time to time, and there will be openings.
Just think from Burnley's point of view, Cullen and Ramsey have got to get that round the corner ball over the top into the space, into their game, because it's on with Tottenham being high.
Kulusevski stealing it from Taylor momentarily.
You don't even have to have a touch either. As the ball comes to you, just lift it over the top, a bit like Danny Drinkwater used to do for Vardy. It's just the ball comes, lift it over, and then just be on the last defender. Foot race.
Foster won a foot race to score at Villa Park at the weekend. And Bentancur crashing into Zaroury and hurting him. Richarlison. Skip. Just behind Kulusevski. Almost progress a little laboured at the moment. Sums it up. Vicario slipped as he cleared. And Johnson got a nudge from Vitinho, but no more.
Clever one from the fullback. I knew he wasn't going to get the ball, just leaned into it.
Given away by Zaruri. This is Brennan Johnson. And then more fine defending from Dara O'Shea.
Yeah, that's good defending because he was playing catch-up. Johnson had a yard on him. Quick feet that you need just to get into the stride.
I'd say the back four hasn't changed. He's had a partnership with Jordan Bayer back there for the last couple of months that was ended by injury during the Villa game, and Anders Delquart came on in his place. It's a fairly new partnership at the heart of the Burnley defence, being tested here by Porro's corner. It firmly away. Space for Kulusevski. Again being double-teamed by Audebert and Taylor. And the frustration that we saw in Ange Postecoglou's body language a moment or two ago is now being felt out on the field and around this stadium.
There's no fluidity to the play of Tottenham at all. 2 or 3 passes and that's about it.
Just a reminder, there are 2 other FA Cup ties being played this evening, and Tommy Doyle has equalised for Wolverhampton Wanderers in that 7:15 kickoff at Brentford. Fulham versus Rotherham United still goalless. I beg your pardon, Fulham have taken the lead in that game. Fulham 1, Rotherham United 0. That was a slightly later kick-off at 7:30. Again, back to Vicario.
Yeah, really good. Forcing Tottenham back. Watching Richarlison, there's 2 or 3 times then when the player back's got the ball, he's just not making any runs forward. Forcing to feet all the time.
Here he is now, engaged by Delquart. Foster slips. Doggy slips. Retain the ball. Everybody sliding in Coutinho this time. Neither Ben Davies nor Emerson Royale would probably describe themselves as centre-backs, but in the absence of anybody else, they've gone forward for the free kick. Davies has played a lot of football, in fairness, for club and country. The heart of defences, usually 3-man defences for Wales. Porro. And it's so easy for Aaron Muric.
He was ready to come before he took that. It's just about the height of the ball. As soon as he puts height on it, keeper's coming all day long.
Just a little flat, Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, they've been poor, they really have.
Kind of lost control, but the challenge was a little rash from Lo Celso, maybe trying to get his own back.
It's not the game we were expecting, is it?
Dooney, Cullen, Zaroury. Plenty of it, but never troubling Vicario's goal.
The space he found himself in as well, coming off this right-hand side, he got into a nice little number 10 area.
Coutinho first to that, and Dooney. The ball from Audebert, slipped on by Foster, just wouldn't quite fall for him. Bentancur. Well, they ran into the traffic, and the free kick was the best he could hope for. It's been taken maybe 10 metres ahead of the crime scene. Just the one added minute coming your way. Richarlison. Now it's found Kulusevski. Turned away by Cullen. Foster, it's clever. Amdouni, very clever. Foster might be on here. Just couldn't find the pass. Emerson Royal came between them.
Yeah, he just had to be a little bit more patient. He had a bit more grass to run into. Just would have made the pass a little bit easier.
Porro. It's a good ball for Johnson. Celso calling for it, but he's still calling for it, and Vitinha made a challenge. And the referee's half-time whistle interrupts a promising counter-attack for Burnley. Well, Tottenham Hotspur have played some wild football this season. It's all been a little bit tame tonight. Burnley have been well organised, very enthusiastic, very energetic, difficult to play through. And you know, they've had their moments on the counter-attack. And I don't think Tottenham Hotspur can have too many arguments with a half-time scoreline, which is still level. It's Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. Yeah, Laura, VAR are now looking into that tangle between Righty and the camera operator, and that's an ongoing check. So I'll keep you abreast of that. Never quite know what resources the leading clubs will commit to the FA Cup at this stage, but I actually think the winter break might serve to strengthen this season's competition. It is a staggered break, but both of these teams will play just one Premier League game in the 3 weeks between now and the fourth round. So I think a lot of managers may use the Cup to keep their principal players active. And certainly Ange Postecoglou has named the strongest team that he could without the services of Son, Bissouma and Sarr. Burnley are making a change at the break and bringing on Jakob Brun-Larsen, who has seen plenty of Premier League action this season. And it's Lyle Foster, who, I don't know, just looked a little out of sorts to me compared to the form that we've seen from him recently, who is going off. So it's like Brun-Larsen will play up front alongside Amdouni. And Foster, who was outstanding at Villa Park at the weekend, was just a little off it tonight, wasn't he?
He was. He was making runs, but just a little bit off the pace. Wasn't quite getting into the channels, wasn't quite getting the control to his feet. Maybe just off colour for whatever reason.
Yeah, Vincent Kompany said that it was a very sensible decision by the South African Federation not to call him up for the African Cup of Nations. His issues date back a couple of years and more to his time in Belgium, and it's been under specialist care for much of the last couple of months, so let's not be too surprised or impatient with Lyle Foster. Porro into Kulusevski. Porro, good work by Taylor. Porro doing a little bit of cheerleading.
That's one of Burnley's successes in the first half, quite in this Tottenham crowd. First 20 minutes, they did a good job of that.
Too much marching in the closing stages of the first half. Back in voice now. The first time that they've been forced back to Vicario. It's well won by Ramsey. It's just behind Brun Larsen. Just a little careless there. He's lost concentration for a moment, and Spurs are getting on with it. No likes of concentration from Davies, who's found Johnson. And Johnson's going to run at O'Shea, and it might be a bit of a mismatch. Richarlison waits, but Delquart is there to clear.
Centre half, out of possession, get in position, and Delquart perfect behind O'Shea.
Kulusevski, Richarlison, Kulusevski. What a kick.
Well, they just switched off Burnley from that.
And again, Odobert not alive to the short corner. Kulusevski wasn't the best of clearances. Lo Celso! It's a pretty comfortable save. There is a flag up on the near side. And a free kick for Burnley.
Both goalkeepers choosing that kind of save. Knuckles straight through the ball. What happened to catching it, Clive? Surely.
I would never go in goal. Let's get my hands dirty.
That's what the gloves are for.
Bentancur put forward. Delquart up and out. The best from Ramsey, but here's O'Shea. Dixon's got a player of the match to choose in about 40 minutes' time. We're looking at centre-backs and full-backs at the moment.
I know there's a couple of midfield players out there for Burnley who've done a good job. Ramsey again just snapping into the closing down.
Mainly without the ball. Kulusevski, Richarlison can't reach it, it's come off Coutinho, the flag's up. Presumably Richarlison came back in an offside position. Odobert, can he light things up? Oh, he's turned away from Toro. He's shown a little bit too much of it to Emerson Royale, but there's real intent about Wilson Odobert. He's an invigorating talent. Not quite sure how Richarlison managed that, but he's linked up with Kulusevski. Richarlison back on his feet. Try again. Kulusevski. Wasn't a million miles away. Kind of know what's coming with both Kulusevski and Johnson cutting in onto their favoured foot.
Yeah, I think you've just got to change it up now and again. I mean, it wasn't that far off, but just threaten to shoot, cut inside on the left, and then go back down the outside again, just to stretch the back line. Defenders don't like to run back towards their own goal.
He has played mainly as a 10 in the last month or so, Kulusevski, before his suspension last weekend. Ian Wright mentioned Brian Heel on the bench would be an option. And Postecoglou to change things. Kulusevski continues to attack Burnley from this right flank. Go for goal again. It's awkward for Muric. The flag was up again. Bowled out quickly. Amdouni trying to get on with it. Zaroury. Cullen. Odobert. This is Cullen. Not his finest.
Odebert's been a threat, and look at the two players just converging on him. That just frees up the space. Skip trying to help his fullback up now.
Decision's gone Burnley's way here. O'Shea and Delquire, the centre-backs, are in there. So easy for Vicario. Emerson Royale trying to escape. Then Kulusevski. Skip. Bentancur. Doggy. Johnson. Burnley have been allowed to regroup.
Too slow from Tottenham.
Kulusevski. Porro. That's a really good header by Delquire. Bentancur, excellent control. Shot less so.
There's a little break on there. The ball goes to Kulusevski and then he just slows it all the way down, cuts inside. Odegaard, who's not a full-back, marking him. He just knows if he cuts the line off, he's got to go inside to where all the bodies are, and it all slows down to a walking pace. And Burnley get men back.
Bentancur's going to take some time to get up to pace. He played nearly an hour on his return commentary on Sunday against Bournemouth. This is only his third start of the season for Tottenham. He played one game for Uruguay in November. 11 months of injury issues recognised tonight with the captain's armband in the absence of Son Heung-min. Taylor, Odegaard, lovely touch again, and Amdouni matches it with the chest control, particularly with the pass. Well, the assistant referee gave the throw in to Spurs. A little bit of beseeching from Vincent Kompany. It's gone Burnley's way.
Luckily, it doesn't count what he thinks. As Vincent Kompany's just told him.
Taylor. Bentancur, scoop towards Johnson. That just come for Richarlison. Delquire's there again. Porro. Too strong for Odegaard. That's a lovely pass. Lo Celso. He's taking it off his left foot. Now a doggy. Johnson. Deflected on the way through, but not a great deal.
Oh, a bit of possession now for Tottenham. Yeah, just flicked off the bottom of Rory. But again, numbers back. Burnley, when they're defending, they just get everybody back behind the ball.
There are replays in this season's FA Cup, but only up to and including the fourth round. Reading between the lines, you get the impression this might be the last year of the replay.
Shocking decision with Arkin, to tell you. A good old replay.
Some of the greatest modern FA Cup goals have been scored in replays. Ricky Beer. Bentancur. Here's Porro. Charged down by Taylor. Kulusevski. Set up for a shot again. He thought better of it this time. That might have been as good a position that he's worked his way into. Just haven't had the usual conviction, Tottenham, tonight. Here's Johnson trying to change that. Can't connect with Richarlison. Amdouni, good turn, but too good for his own balance. Porro. Johnson! Well, he had a good look at that. It was in the air for a long time and he watched it all the way. Set himself, his body shape was good, but the connection wasn't.
Yeah, he did well because he stayed out of the way. He just waited for the ball to come to him. As you said, he had a lot of time to think about that. We know he's got that in his locker. He'll
be thinking about changes, but whilst it's good to see Mickey van der Ven and indeed Ryan Sessegnon on the bench, they haven't had an awful lot of training in preparation for this game.
Looks like Heel's getting his kit off.
Brun Larsen. It was the pass all the time, I think. Cullen was on. Amdouni. And there's a flag up now. That Tottenham line has done its job. I think what would really test the imagination of these contemporary coaching whizzes, if we had one round of games each season without offsides, that'd test their creativity. Might be an idea to spice up the identity of the FA Cup. Each and every round, a fundamental law of the game's either removed or changed. You can have one round without yellow or red cards. UFC rules, anything goes, you know?
It used to be like that when I played.
They'll get righty back out of retirement now. Well, Wilson Odobert has certainly caught the eye this evening, but he seems to have run out of gas, and the more dependable Josh Brownhill comes on in his place, takes over the captain's armband from Josh Cullen, and Brian Hill has taken the place of Giovanni Lo Celso, and much as I thought, Kulusevski's gone into 10. Johnson will play from the right-hand side now, and Hill from the left. Amdouni's header. Right by Emerson Royal. Skip winning the ball not once but twice, then running into Taylor.
We're going to see if that opens up Kulusevski's game a little bit, playing a little bit more centrally. He's certainly been ineffective so far on this right-hand side.
Zaroury with the throw. Amdouni. Very graceful in possession. Coutinho. Brownhill. That's a good ball from Juric. Brun Larsen lays it off. I think he was looking for Amdouni. He's moved a little further forward now with Brownhill alongside Cullen.
Ouch.
Amdouni back on his feet. Zaroury.
That's been the thing lacking from Burnley's point of view, the last third. I think Karen talked about it at half-time, about just the lack of quality.
Yeah, Luka Kolyosho's a big miss for them. It doesn't look as if he's going to figure again this season. Maybe the brightest talent that they've unleashed on the Premier League this season, sadly injured. Here's Amdouni though, not too far behind him, Brownhill. Charlie Taylor struggling with a shoulder injury. He's discussing it with Wilson Company. He won't want to lose his place. Back in favour since mid-September after being out in the cold. Both last season and the start of this.
Can't be too bad, he's taking a throw in now.
Zaroury, here is Taylor. Cullen. Zaroury trying to get Brun Larsen in. Davis is there.
It's a good idea that as well. It was on if he just overhits it. Gets it over the top of that line. A good run from Brun Larsen.
Just out of the Danish squad at the moment. He'd dearly love to be part of the European finals in the summer when Denmark are in England's group. First look at Brian Heel tonight. Kulusevski. Just a little bit of uncertainty in possession. They seem so well drilled, usually Tottenham, as if they always kind of know 2-3 moves ahead what's coming. Not tonight. One pass at a time. Here's Johnson, though. Cut out by O'Shea, hook cleared by Brownhill. Lots of pressure building, though. Porro to Johnson. He's quick, but not that quick.
Yeah, he was waiting for the challenge to come in. This touch, Taylor's gone down now. Just has a little look over his shoulder, a little out of his feet there, and he's just waiting for the contact, but his second touch wasn't good enough, and Taylor looks like he's struggling with that shoulder.
That's a real concern for him. Maybe the two most intriguing ties of the third round are both live on ITV1 and STV over the weekend. Tomorrow lunchtime, we are 275 miles north of here for the first Weir Tyne derby, and going on 8 years, Sunderland versus Newcastle United from 12 noon. Then on Monday evening, it's Wigan Athletic of League One at home to Manchester United in the final tie of the round. ITV1 and STV from 7:30 for an 8:15 kickoff, and before kickoff, that show will also feature the draw for round 4. Wigan manager Sean Maloney took the corner from which Ben Watson headed the last great Shot Cup final result in 2013, as Vincent Kompany knows only too well. He was the Manchester City captain that day. There's no way you can soldier on with a damaged shoulder. And Charlie Taylor reluctantly troops off.
Yeah, he's had a good game as well.
Maybe that fall.
Yeah, just took his feet away from him, the ball, and then straight on the top of that shoulder.
Amin Al-Dakil, who was a regular at centre-back until the start of November, is back on the Burnley bench tonight. That's him in the centre of shot there. He's going to come on. He's only had 20 minutes for Burnley since the start of November. 21-year-old Belgian international. And it looks like we're going to see Mike Trezor too. He's an attacking player. The Belgian international winger, though. Heel. The doggy. This will come for Johnson. Well, that was a good save rather than a great save. It's on target, though.
Yeah, good technique from Johnson. Just thinking whether he could have had a touch there.
Here goes Brun Larsen for Burnley. Needs a bit of help, maybe. Game just a little bit more stretched now. Burnley playing with 10 men, let's not forget. Brownhill's gone into centre-back for the moment. Del Quala left back. Bentancur. Cut out by Brownhill. Day released as centre of defence and doing the job. Bentancur. That's better for Johnson. Well seen though by Muric. And now Burnley can make 3 changes.
Can't quite see from that angle, but decided to take the shot on early. acres of space, edge of the box. Could he take a touch?
So Al-Dakhil will come on and presumably slot into that defence in the position vacated by Taylor. Zaruri gives way to the familiar figure of Nathan Redmond, and that is Mike Trezor, the third Burnley substitute in this ball change moment. The substitute number boards have done well to survive the VAR technological revolution. Can't be long before they introduce self-checkouts, you know, just scanning QR code into a security barrier, one off, one on. Start a loyalty point scheme to reward regular substitutes. Sure, it's coming. If it is, it's my idea. 5 from 9, the same substitution rules as in the Premier League. Emerson. Skip. Porro. Here's another skip. Johnson just couldn't quite gather it in. Was he caught by Brownhill? He thinks he was. We know who'll be looking at this.
Yeah, well, my first thought was it wasn't, but we're just about to see. No, nothing in that. Both hit the ball at the same time by the look of it.
I mean, by a millisecond, he might just have made touch with the foot before. I don't know.
Well, no, well, it's all gone quiet in the VAR ear, my left one, which is never a good sign.
We're talking about a forensic examination of something which happened in the blink of an eye, and the check is complete and no further action. That's a lovely ball from Davies. Brian Heel. Udogie. Heel. I mentioned that winter break. It's going to be diluted for both managers. If a replay is necessary the week after next.
I say about the last thing both teams need, but
Davis towards Kulusevski. Muric committed, and his presence. Well, the ball had bounced out of play before he made any contact with Kulusevski. It doesn't forgive the contact. I can't see it being penalised.
Yeah, he's pretty quick with that, checked and cleared. Both teams, yes, don't ideally want a replay, but we'll take one rather than going out.
Replays would be 16th or 17th. Spurs play again on Sunday week at Manchester United. Burnley's next game's at home to Luton Town. It's scheduled for the following night, but I think it might have to be brought forward a night or two if it is a replay. But here's Trezor trying to put all that to bed. Blocked by Porro.
Enjoyed that, Porro. Good defending. Again, half chance for Burnley.
Trezor has been regularly involved from the bench. He's going to be involved here by taking this corner. So disappointing, the delivery. It's not the first either from either team. But Richarlison's got a chance to counter. Nice to ride that challenge from Al-Dakhil. He's asked a lot of Udogie. Udogie's got there. And so too has Darragh O'Shea. How good's he been tonight?
Yeah, really, really good. He's had 2 or 3 of them. Sometimes he's not the favourite.
Well, we're past the midway point in the second half. And if this is going to be sorted out tonight, it's going to be a 20-minute cut tie. Udogie. Porro. So many crosses, it seems to me, have been catching practice for goalkeepers.
Yeah, not enough pace on them, too high. They're going to come all day long. Both comfortable in the air, don't give him a chance. Just hit him just a bit over head height with a bit of whip on him.
Davies just about reaches it. We do have a team through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Here are the results from tonight's earlier game. A replay is going to be necessary between Brentford and Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's the final score. But in the other cup tie, Fulham have beaten Rotherham United and are the first club officially through to the last 32 of the competition. Kill playing at left back, forward by O'Shea. Larson in pursuit. Emerson Royale just about managing to sort it out. Plenty of work experience at centre back this season. Emerson Royale. Another Cruyff turn, why not? Oh, Delquar, not quite as adept as his goalkeeper. I'll get a mention in the dressing room at the end. But they've done well to retain possession.
Well, they've had about 12 passes and not one of them looks like he's under control, but they've kept it.
O'Shea. A bit of restlessness inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Nathan Redmond. It will come for Cullen. More options there too. This is Johnson. Richarlison's free if he can square it. Good work by Delquar, not for the first time. Johnson meets himself.
Burnley centre-backs have had both of them had proper games tonight. They've been together. There's been no gaps in between them. When one's been struggling, the other's covered. They look a bit tired now, I have to say. There's still 20 minutes to go.
Bit of a dry January night so far at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here's Brian Hill, trying to mix the cocktail. Works some space for himself. A doggy. Here comes Bentancur. Emerson Royale. Pedro Porro. Davis. Doggy. Even these short passes have got to be more precise, that the player receiving it, take it on the half-term and impact the game immediately. See, that's not good enough. Al-Dakil beating Kulusevski to it. Brun Larsen. Al-Dakil's gone on here. And across comes Rodrigo Bentancur.
Yeah, good positioning from the midfielder. He was watching it all ahead of him. It's part of his job in that central midfield area. But you're right, Burnley are more than happy to show him inside Tottenham, into the stack of players. It's worked so far. Whenever it goes wide, their effort is to try and get it back inside Burnley.
Bentancur trusting his skill. Scooped forward, but a little too straight, a little too long. Richarlison's covered a lot of ground for not many touches of the ball tonight. Vitinha. Cullen. Trezor. Al-Dakil on the overlap.
What a chance that is. Great play, great switch of play. Cullen out to this left-hand side, and then just the quality, the final pass. It's just let Burnley down at times.
So Oliver Skip gives way to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, which will be a straight swap at the heart of the midfield. He's been mainly used as a substitute this season. I saw his name linked with a move to Juventus a couple of days ago, possible during January. They're going well in Italy, second to Inter at the moment. There's another one will be eyeing that Denmark-England game in the summer. Well, with every passing minute, the jeopardy attached to each attack grows. Brownhill's free kick. O'Shea's header. The doggy's header. Lifted forward towards Trezor, lifted away by Heel. It's a really good pass from Højbjerg. Kulusevski. Spurs have got 6 forward here. Kulusevski, Richarlison, chance for Højbjerg, Richarlison, missed it, run past it. Spurs have got it back, Pedro Porro. Oh, save! A moment out of keeping with the night. Didn't belong in this match, that. It was absolutely breathtaking. And if that wins the cup tie, then it's no more than Pedro Porro deserves. He's lifted the level of this cup tie with one swing of his right foot, and he may just have settled the cup tie too.
Well, just watch this. We've been screaming out for a little bit of quality, and you're just about to see it in Porro's laces. He's quick on the close down, and then he just thinks, you know what, I'm just going to slice across this. Out to in shot, the ball, almost a knuckleball, just flies into that far corner. Keeper no chance, he's watching it, and unfortunately it's skimming off the inside of that side netting. What a shot.
Whatever level you play this game, if you haven't scored a goal yet this season, don't worry, because a minute ago Pedro Porro hadn't either. The last of his 3 goals for Tottenham Hotspur was in May. He did hit a post against Aston Villa here a few weeks back. He scored a wonderful improvised volley against Manchester United, I remember, last April. He is a talent, he's capable of moments, but that was a very special moment. But Burnley had cleared their lines once. They got it away. Richarlison had a massive chance, maybe 2. But Burnley had dealt with that situation, and then they gave it back.
It was almost begging out for something like that, this game. It wasn't going to happen through slick play for Tottenham. They've been off today, they really have, but that has just lit the night up.
Free kick to Burnley.
He had a little look round, Clive, you know, when he got the ball. He won the ball back brilliantly well, went into the space, had a little look round and thought, you know what, there's nothing on.
It was during Antonio Conte's time that he came to the club last January. It's actually been a regular for Spurs for 4 different managers. A couple of them temporary.
Well, he's been in good form, there's no doubt about that. He's had a good game tonight as well. Competitive, hungry, he's got that desire.
It's an interesting backstory. He had 3 years on Manchester City's books without ever playing for them. I don't think he ever actually met Pep Guardiola. He was loaned out. And he found his way back to English football a year ago. He had a rather shaky start, if the truth's told, but he is almost custom built to be a fullback in an Ange Postecoglou team. Johnson. Here is the man of the moment. Johnson. Oibia. That's a tremendous pass. Brian Hill couldn't make the most of it. Coutinho with the tackle. Redmond. Brun Larsen. Spurs did go through a spell in November when they couldn't keep a lead, but they have won the last 4 matches in which they've scored the opening goal, but it helps when you score the opening goal so late. Scored in their last 34 games now since March. What a run.
This is the little throw out. Out of the keel.
Tried to knock back in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bang.
What a strike that is. I mean, just watch his out-to-win shot. A little skip after he's hit it. It's just got that knuckle feel about it. Absolutely flew in. Or it's just watching it.
Well, we're not going to see Mickey van der Ven, but Ryan Sessegnon is back. His first senior appearance since last February when he was contesting the left wing-back spot here with Ivan Perisic. Went down with a hamstring injury, needed an operation in the summer. Sessegnon is back along with 2 youngsters. Dane Scarlett, who's back from a loan spell with Ipswich, is the last to come on here for Richarlison. And Jamie Donnelly, another young forward who they have a high opinion of here, is also on. Bit of trust for these young players to see out a cup tie, which Pedro Porro may just have won for Spurs. I'm sure Van der Ven's return is something that they want to control. He's only had 3 or 4 training sessions with the first team. And with respect to Sessegnon, he's a little bit more important going forward. Here's Al-Bakil. We'll reflect on that moment. And it's a cruel moment on the likes of O'Shea and Delcroix here. Al-Bakil. Muric finding Coutinho, but he can't find any progress. Tottenham haven't had a real run at the FA Cup since their last semi-final 6 seasons ago. Just feel as though it would match all the promise that they've shown this season, that they can really string a few results together in this competition. Scarlett. Got plenty of company here. The doggy couldn't quite gather it in. Oh, given back though to Heel. And the doggy. I mean, they're just asking for it. In the end, it's a little careless from Sessegnon.
They couldn't quite get the bend on it. It's a little flick. The fingers does the rest.
Kulusevski. Højbjerg. It's had a good impact on the game. Brian Heel. It's easy for Muric.
Sure about the need for everybody in the claret and blue shirt to be back. They've got to leave someone up front. All 11 defending then.
straight to Sessegnon. This is Scarlett. Well, you can help yourself back there now because Burnley are looking a little bedraggled.
It'd be cruel if another one goes in. Just hit a bobble just as he hit that. It doesn't matter anyway, but near the crowd, as soon as he got the ball, expectation was there.
Jose Mourinho made him the youngest ever Tottenham Premier League player back in 2021. His progress hasn't been smooth, rarely is for a young player, but he is a goal scorer, Dane Scarlett. Didn't really get the opportunities at Ipswich in the first half of the season. Emerson. That's a foul by Hill. Brun Larsen waits. Away by Emerson Royale. Amdouni slips. Not for the first time tonight. Sessegnon. Here's Donnelly. Porro. He's lost that to Al-Dakir. And here's Amdouni. Trésor. Opportunity for Brownhill. And Pedro Porro, having put Tottenham on the verge of the fourth round, almost handed Burnley a lifeline.
It's a difficult chance for Brownhill. He just slices across it. But you're right, Porro, defensively he's been pretty solid the whole night. On that occasion he wasn't. He's allowed after that strike though.
Muric in the Burnley goal literally never moved. We often say that about a goalkeeper. There's a sweet strike, whistles past them, but he was totally defeated. Scarlett wants a free kick, not going to get it. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Yeah. Scarlett. Donnelly. Sessegnon. I think Tottenham will appreciate this break.
Yeah, he looked a bit leggy tonight, didn't he?
It's a big game next time out against Manchester United at Old Trafford Sunday week. Seven added minutes. Porro was caught there by Trésor, who was particularly apologetic. He was going to get a yellow card. I think the collision with the camera was the problem. I think it's the collision with Tresor's foot that's caused the agony. Wow. Ooh. They're expensive, just be careful. Just a word about Sam Barrett, the young referee with limited experience of taking charge of Premier League games. He's kept a firm grip on this game. To tempt fate, but we've come through without too many headline arguments. Trésor. leaving the Tottenham stadium. It's not quite done this. Scarlett's been penalised. I'm surprised Burnley haven't turned to Jay Rodriguez in these circumstances. Well, they have used their full allocation now. Trezor, Cullen, Coutinho. Turn of pace, not such a good cross.
What a chance. Bit of a rush of blood there, he did the hard bit. Just a little dummy there, just takes him past into the space, but then maybe give him a little bobble, give him the benefit. That's what he thinks.
It's a town of 70-odd thousand people. They have no right to be competing in the same league as their neighbours United and City, but they spent 8 of the last 10 seasons in the top flight. Quite a story, Burnley Football Club. Trezor has got a corner. What you know from Burnley is that they won't give this up until the referee blows his whistle for the last time. Juric is coming forward, the goalkeeper. Might just be the tallest man in there. Trezor takes. Not too far away from the goalkeeper, was it? Now the goal's empty. Cullen needs to retain possession. Coutinho, Brownhill. Scooped forward towards Brun Larsen. Porro away. Hill can't retain it, but he was fouled. Cullen's header. Brownhill's found only Kulusevski. Heel. Højbjerg didn't look. Redmond on towards Brun Larsen. Ben Davies is there. They've not had big chances in the second half, but they've had opportunities to exploit situations which they haven't made the most of.
Yeah, it's just that last third, the last cross, the last pass just hasn't been right. They just lack that bit of confidence when they get into the final third.
Player of the match, Emirates Player of the Match to nominate Lee Dixon.
Well, there's been really good defensive performances in the Burnley side. Del Quaro, Shea especially, but Cullen in front as well, really protecting. But I have to give it in a game with little quality in the last third. I've got to give it to that man taking the throw, Pedro Porro, for his strike. He's played well, he's been solid, but that just capped it off for me.
A glorious goal to deliver a slightly inglorious victory, maybe. Burnley have been in this all the way, and with 2 more added minutes to play, they'll feel they're still in it. There's maybe a feeling that promotion in the first season was way ahead of schedule for Vincent Kompany when he arrived 18 months ago. And that's a foul. No, it's not a foul. It's a throw into Burnley. Cleared by Porro, fittingly. Here's Kulusevski. On towards Sessegnon. Held up by Coutinho, who was fouled. You've got to remember that Kompany inherited a relegated squad that had just lost Tarkowski and Mee and Pope and McNeil, just undergone a change of ownership too. They lost Deitch and Wone in the process too. And even from last season, there's been a significant turnover of talent, because the likes of Teller and Maatsen and Harwood Bellis made such contributions to promotion, were on loan to the club. Trezor. They're still in this. What a chance! It was Hannes Delcroix who got forward from the back. And frankly finished like a centre-back, but he can stay forward for the corner.
What a chance that is. VAR are just delaying this to have another look at something else. What a chance for the centre-back, Delcroix. That would have capped off a brilliant defensive performance from him.
Just reviewing an incident at the other end of the field, but that's been cleared. And Muric is forward again here. And it's Muric's header! Oh, what a chance! The goalkeeper won it in the air. And of all the people they would have wanted it to fall to, Zeki Amdouni couldn't convert.
Well, that was the one you wanted. The assist from the goalkeeper. Was he offside? Probably not. And it was just behind him. He threw a heel at it, and that's not far off, and the game's over.
Wow. There hasn't been a lot of wow inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tonight, but in the closing moments, we've had two memorable moments. A memorable goal from Pedro Porro and a memorable chance for Burnley to equalise with literally the last kick of the game. Skewed off the heel of Zeki Amdouni after his goalkeeper had gone forward to win the ball in the air. But a fabulous hit from Pedro Porro is the difference in the end. Burnley will turn their attentions to that big game with Luton Town on the near horizon in the Premier League, and Tottenham Hotspur can start to think about a cup run thanks to Pedro Porro. Final score at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium: Spurs 1, Burnley 0.